Today for Full Album Friday, we're going to check out one of my favorite records from back in 1998 that without question you can just hit play on and let it go all the way through. It's Medeski, Martin & Wood's fantastic recording, Combustication. The thing is, when people hear a term like modern jazz, they tend to get a bit weirded out for some reason. Maybe thinking it's some random geezers doing their best to put a spin on Louis Armstrong or Miles Davis. The other thought is maybe that you need to be some sort of highbrow music snob to appreciate the music in question. These are both categorically incorrect, and there may be no finer example of what jazz means within a modern world than this album. Because to tell you the truth, you wouldn't be completely wrong if you tried to label Combustication as more like a jam band than formal jazz. But that's just it. In the true spirit of jazz, all across this album and most of their records, Medeski, Martin & Wood completely ignore all the rules. They just find a groove and start exploring that sound in mind-bending ways. Regardless of how you want to label it, every single moment on Combustication draws you further and further in. And when the trio incorporates the sounds and talents of DJ Logic, the album jumps on into an entirely new musical plane. It's the fact that both the trio and the turntable master have such a clear understanding of how to perfectly blend their two sounds together that makes the sound so fantastic, as it fits together so wonderfully that the overall sound ends up being so natural, flowing so smoothly, that to tell you the truth, it becomes a genre unto itself. All across this album, John Medeski comes up with some of the most unique progressions on the keys that you've ever heard. And yet it's also the way that he's able to use modern technology and loops and delays along with his playing that vaults this record far beyond what you might expect. And while these two are on top form, it's the rhythm section of Chris Wood and Billy Martin that are the key to the overall appeal of this album. The way these two lock together is unparalleled. And whether they're working in a more traditional jazz style, within funk, within hip hop, it doesn't really matter. Trust me when I say, due to their performances, you're gonna love every moment on this album. The record does have an overall darker tone, but it ends up working perfectly, as that mood is able to be pushed out further and further in every direction, and yet the groove is never lost. This record really has it all in a way like you've never heard, as the music runs the entire gamut from the almost beatnik style sounds of Whatever Happened to Gus, to the somewhat eerie sounds of Start Stop, to the absolutely entrancing Just Like I Pictured It. Regardless of what type of music you really dig, trust me when I say you're gonna find something, or a lot of something on this album that you'll love. Though each of the records from Medeski, Martin & Wood are well worth owning for a wide range of reasons, Combustication really has this unique sound and flow to it that you're not gonna find anywhere else. And whether you want to label it as jazz fusion, modern jazz, jam jazz, whatever you want, Combustication is an ideal example of an end-to-end flawless record that must be in your collection. Thank me later.